Hello guys, it's me, Miss Myers, and I am here with, of course, Miss Palmer Morris. And we are here to teach you how to cook a very interesting meal of curry chicken. It is a Jamaican favorite. This is what we're gonna do today. Now, listen, we're doing home cooking remix. So I'm gonna show you in a few minutes what the remix is going to be to it, but I thought since I'm not Jamaican, I know you hear that I'm not Jamaican, right? So I thought I would invite Miss Palmer Morris and she would come over and show us how to do it in an authentic type of way. But before we start, because I have proper home training, you never have anyone over to your home to do anything for you without presenting them with a gift. So let me present her with a gift. Nice and cute. All right, now, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Then let's begin.
So first thing we do is we buy some chicken. You can either cut it at home in small pieces, or you can have the butcher to cut it at the store. You take it home, you clean it thoroughly, remove the excess skin and fat and any other parts of the chicken. And in the islands, we always clean, whether or not you clean it with the vinegar or the water, just make sure you clean the chicken thoroughly. The acid in the vinegar, we use it because it kills the excess bacteria that may be on the chicken. And therefore, that's an additional step that you may want to take when you're cleaning your chicken. Now we're gonna add the seasonings. So first thing we do is we prep the seasonings. These are onions, sweet onions that we buy at the store. We cut them into tiny pieces. We also have some Irish potatoes, which Miss Myers will talk to you about later on, that we cut into small pieces. We also have some garlic, which we do the same thing, you chop into small pieces. We have scallions that we do the same thing too, small pieces. We have peppers, Scotch bonnet peppers, which is a give and take. It can be very spicy, so I put just 2 small pieces in there, but some people use a whole pepper if they want to. And then we have some thymes that we use. I didn't chop these, I just put them in their whole. We also have our powdered seasoning. This is Jamaican curry that came directly from Jamaica. The Indians, they ground their curry, and we bought it from Jamaica. This is a mixture of seasonings that we put together. It's like an all-purpose seasoning that you can buy in the Jamaican stores or anywhere that sells Jamaican seasonings, all-purpose, and there's a chicken seasoning also. We also have Mrs. Dash, which is sold in most of the grocery stores. It's just Mrs. Dash, and it's the original blend that we use.
Very good. Now let's get to the good part. Let's start mixing it up.
Mixing it up. So what we do first is, it doesn't matter the order in which you put it, but we generally add the chopped seasonings first. So I'm gonna just add the onions. You just scoop it up.
And this is approximately a cup of onion.
Yes. Okay. And then add the scallions to it also.
Okay. That is about 1/4 of a cup of scallion, and this is 2 cloves of garlic.
Yes. And of course the pepper, that can be very spicy. I just use 2 pieces of it. You can add more or less if you want, or none at all.
So my flaming hot fans, you can use the whole pepper.
Okay, and I just use the sprig. I separate them.
Okay, so she's just pulling the thyme off of the stem.
Yeah, it's separated, so it's,
Oh, not even pulling it off the stem, just separating the pieces.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And then we add our seasoning, the mixture. So again, this mixture is just a Jamaican all-purpose seasoning with some chicken seasoning that we mix together.
Now this is to taste, or is there a specific amount?
It is to taste, but I knew the amount of chicken you were getting, so we kind of judged it based on that when I measured it out. But it is to taste. I would, I don't even know how much I put in here, but I mean, if you're cooking, you can always taste, and you can add as you go along. Okay.
Now this is 10 pounds of leg quarters. So in the container where she had it, it was approximately a fourth of a cup. And I, actually it was more like a third of a cup. And I believe she used about a fourth of a cup on there. But again, you see how it looks, make yours look like hers.
Okay, and so this curry that I have is very strong. If you look at the color closely, if you go to the Jamaican stores to buy the Grace curry or the Island Spice curry, it won't be this strong. So depending again on what you have, then you use a certain amount. So we use less of this because it's stronger.
Okay.
Because it's grounded there and we get it, and it's stronger, and the taste is stronger in this one.
Is curry spicy?
No, it's not spicy.
Okay.
The pepper makes the meat spicy. So again, we add, and I don't add all of this. Okay, I'm gonna save some for a little later, just in case we need it. Okay.
Now, is that one salty?
It has salt, but it's not salty.
Okay.
Yeah.
So both of the seasonings that you use have salt?
Yes.
So
This one has salt. The spice, the all-purpose
Allspice.
season, allspice does have salt. So we don't use salt.
Okay.
Okay.
So all the salt is included in the seasoning.
Yes.
No need to
And
add
there's
any
some
extra.
pepper in there. If you look closely, you see the pepper.
Let's
so there
look
is pepper in there.
closer.
There is
Okay.
salt and pepper. Yes.
Okay.
All right, and the potatoes, I will just use a small amount.
Let's talk about potatoes. Remember, students, we are trying to decrease the amount of simple carbohydrates. Okay, students, remember, we're trying to decrease in these home cooking remixes, we're trying to decrease the amount of simple carbohydrates. Now, we're about to add potatoes, but we're not going to add a lot of potato because, of course, potatoes are starch. Which is a code word for simple carbohydrate. So we're not going to add a whole lot of that in there because remember what the body sees it as. Sugar. That's all it sees it as. Now the purpose of the potato is to thicken the gravy of the curry sauce. That's the purpose of a potato. When you put it into stews, into things, its only purpose is to season. To thicken. So we're going to use some so it'll thicken up a little bit, but not a whole lot. Now I'm going to switch you back to Miss Palmer Morris.
Okay, so I'm adding just a small amount. We had a medium-sized potato that I diced or just chopped. It doesn't matter the size because we're gonna cook it out all the way. I'm just adding a small amount just for the gravy.
So she added about half of one medium-sized potato.
Yeah. Okay. So now is the part we mix it together. So all the seasoning has to be rubbed in. Okay. So what I do is you just mix it.
Now this is the point where if your curry is yellow, so if you're afraid for your nails, then you may want to wear gloves to do this, okay? Because it does stain things and curry is yellow, okay?
So we rub the curry into the meat. And then I didn't use all of it because I rub it in and see if there's more needed, if there's a piece missing any, if it's all of it is yellow, like over here I have some white pieces. So what I do is I go back and add just a little bit more. Yes, so we go along.
So none of the chicken should be pink anymore.
No.
All of it should have the yellowish color to it.
And make sure you're using a wide container, so all your chicken, you're not fighting to find the chicken at the bottom. So you rub it over it.
Now, here is a hint. If you don't have a big bowl, because this is a lot of chicken, if you do not have a big bowl, then you see I have the really long aluminum pans. Use one of those, and then it makes cleanup really easy because you can just throw this away. But if you don't have a big bowl, this one is very difficult to do. You need to be able to spread it out. And you see how she's just getting all in there? And I'm going to believe this is one you judge by the color when it is completely mixed.
Okay, so we're finished seasoning. And usually we sit it for, if you can, for at least 2 hours. So it soaks it up, marinates.
Okay.
just like you would do for your regular meat, or you can cook it immediately and you still get your taste. But we usually do this if we're cooking in dinner or lunch. We do it like an hour before. We prep, we make sure we add the seasoning, then we season it, we cover it, and leave it there.
Okay. So we just cover it with aluminum foil,
Just cover it
something
with
like that.
Yeah.
All right.
So we added enough oil just to cover the surface of the pot or your pan or whatever you're using, your skillet, depending on the amount of chicken you're cooking.
How do we know it's hot enough?
When it's hot enough, it looks like it's steaming around the edge. I mean, it's oil, so it doesn't steam, but and I also kind of put my hands over it just to feel the temperature. Then I'll add some of the curry that I had left over. And this method, they use it a lot in Jamaica, where they burn the curry or fry a little bit of it before they add their chicken. So it's hot because it's frying. Okay. Gets a little bit brown. Then I'm gonna add the chicken. Then I'll just add the chicken that we had from last time.
Okay, so this chicken's been marinating for a good long while, so it should have absorbed all the flavors. Okay, so you hear how it's sizzling. I'm getting ready to spread it around, but you see how it's sizzling and how it's nice and yellow from the curry.
And the smell is amazing.
Yes.
So we spread it out.
Alright, so all she's doing is spreading it out so it can get as much of the surface area as possible.
Okay, so about 30 minutes into cooking, this is what it looks like. So the chicken is making its own gravy kind of juice. Most of it has changed color. You still have some red ones in there. And it's getting tender also. So as I said before, you let it sit and simmer in its own juices. Eventually it has a little bit of water, but you don't have to add too much water.
Now what makes the gravy?
The gravy was what we had initially. Remember, we had the potatoes, the onions, the scallions, and the seasoning itself, and just the juices from the chicken, because the chicken has its natural juices.
So remember, we use the potato. Potato is starch. It's a simple carbohydrate, but it's a starch, so it will make the gravy. That's the purpose of the potato. Because you see, you can't really see the potatoes anymore in here. The purpose of it is to thicken up the juices from the chicken to make the gravy. Anyone who's ever made their own chicken broth, you know, chicken broth turns kind of jellyish. It thickens anyway. So when you add the potato with it, you get gravy. Okay?
Okay, so we still allow it to simmer. It takes like an hour and a half or so, 2 hours to cook because of the amount of chicken. Okay, so now it's been about 30 minutes. If you look closely at it, you see that it's breaking apart. The meat is cooked. We've been stirring in between, like every 5 minutes, as I said before, every 10 minutes you check it, every 5 minutes you stir it. And now we can see it's cooking. We have our gravy. And the consistency of the gravy is up to you. Some people like to have their gravy like this. Some people like to have it a little thicker. If you want it a little thicker, you allow it to simmer some more, but you have to turn the heat down so the chicken doesn't cook anymore. It's breaking up.
So turn it down as low as possible so it'll stay hot, and some more of the water can still cook out.
Yes.
Okay, so it can thicken out.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's ready to eat whenever you are.